Okay, so here we are. Other solutions, alternative methods. This is your usual kind of upright Dalek style composting bin, isn't it? Sorry, you're just going to get a voice now, okay? So that is the usual thing that most people have got, okay? Yes, these are good. They tend to be cold composting systems, that is, they don't always get very much heat inside them to help break down weeds and things, but they are effective and they are useful for us to use as well, okay? So you do occasionally, I know we did have a lady who managed to get her standalone bin like this to hot compost. She was doing an excellent job, doing lots of turning of the material inside as well, and she did a superb job. I'm really sorry if you're watching, I've forgotten your name, but you're still top star on that one because you got your cold system to go hot, so well done you. So, not very pretty if you look in the top, obviously. Our normal peelings, okay, bits of plant material in there, flowers that have had eggshells, okay, but I do try and layer it, so you'll notice that there's actually some brown stuff underneath there as well. So green, brown, those are the basics. Now, there are other videos on our site. Okay, Sharon has done a fantastic video on her worm burn composting system. I've done a video on composting bay systems. Go and check them out. They are there for you to use. Okay, that's what we did them for. So that's how it goes in at the top. If we take you down to the bottom, however, a little stone, look at that. You've got lovely black garden compost. Okay, that is beautiful. See how that just breaks up in my fingers? It's lovely, it's dark, black in colour, and it's what's known as friable. Look at that. The term for that is friable. That lovely texture that it goes for, it just breaks up beautifully for you. If I could speak this morning, it would really help. So, those are our traditional systems. There is loads of information out there for you to go and look at. What else have we got? Right, bin. Normal black bin. How can you turn that into something like that? Okay, very simple. These are quite cheap to buy. Okay, now I'm not going to drill holes in this because I actually use this. Keep the lid, keep the top intact. Cut the bottom out of it, okay? So turn it upside down, cut round this and cut the bottom off. Then you can do what I've done, you can lay it on the ground like the standalone system here. It sits on a bed of wood and then there's earth in the bottom, okay? So you cut the bottom out of this one, put that on your earth surface, okay? Turn it upside down again, back the normal way. You get yourself a drill, okay? Yeah, I know there's not a drill bit on the end of this, calm down. You would take your drill, you would drill some holes for ventilation all the way around your bin, okay? And hey presto, you've got yourself your own homemade composting bin system. Put some compost or earth in the bottom, preferably some with a bit of worms and that in the bottom of it to get it going. Okay, the holes are for aeration. You want the airflow through it to help it break down. So these are aerobic systems. They need oxygen going through them. You would then start filling it as normal. Green, brown, all the way till it's full. And you can keep your lid on the top and hey presto, you've got yourself a homemade standalone bin. Okay, here's another method. If you can find yourself, or if you've got lying around, some old bread baskets. Now this is not the prettiest system to look at, but it will work as a temporary measure until maybe things return back to normal, okay? So, 3 bread baskets there. What do? You find yourself some material, not plastic materials. This is ground fabric, okay? This is a sort of fabric that goes on to either insulate the ground or stop weeds. And what we do with it, if I can just open this up, sorry, this is not very easy when you're trying to do this yourself. You would line your bread basket with the material, okay, like so. You would then put your kitchen waste, your raw peelings, your veg cuttings, yeah, in the top there, and you would fill it up. Now you might want to leave some holes there but this is a fabric that's going to allow it to breathe. That's why you don't use plastic. An alternative, if you don't have that, you could have paper. Okay, so I do have one in true Blue Peter style. I've got one in the bottom, and I've lined that with a paper bag. Okay, so start putting your garden waste in there. There's your first layer, green brown till it's full. When it's full, put your next layer on. Obviously you would have lined it first. Okay, green brown, on you go. Lastly, put your next layer on, build it up that way. Okay, now the brilliant thing about this system is when one of these are full, you can take it away, you can go use it in your garden, and you can fill the next one. Okay, when that one's full, you can take it away, you can fill the next one, and then hey presto, you can start again. Okay, so there you go. Another composting system, perhaps a little bit more temporary of course, but another alternative if you don't have a bin and you don't have space in your garden for a big compost bay. There's another way of doing it. Okay, if we have a wee quick look in this wheelbarrow, this is destined to go to my compost bins. Okay, I've got compost bays actually. This sort of material here is too big. Okay, so if you've got your garden waste going in and you're looking at these kind of big woody prunings or stuff that's wind blown, damaged from trees and things, you can't just put that in, that's too big. Okay, you have to break it down a bit. You'll notice I've got a bit of manure in there as well. Okay, coming from the pigs and the chickens and the ducks and stuff. Okay, there's also a little bit of waste there from the polytunnel. Okay, so that's the sort of material that's going into my compost base. But this stuff, okay, this needs to be shredded or broken down or cut up. Now, I'm very lucky, I've got my little shredder and I use that. This is a bag of wood, so this doesn't always go into my compost, because what I do with this is I shred it down and then I leave it, and then after about a year and a half, if we look in this bag here, I've just made myself some bark chip, and this is what I do with mine. I use it as a mulch on my garden beds. Okay, so this goes on as a weed suppressing mulch and I use it that way. So that's another method that you've got as well. And again, I know it's not going to suit everybody, but you've got options out there. You just have to go and investigate and see what you can do. Okay, it's hopefully just short-term solutions. Okay, now coming back to this, I do have a friend down south, on a group down south. She's an elderly lady, she's pretty hardcore, and what she does with her woody prunings is she cuts them up by hand. So if she can do it, so can we. Okay, going to move on to the next system.